Hello everyone and welcome back to QuicksaveTV. I hope you had a great day because today we're going to talk about another one of tutorials about Skyrim. Today specifically we're going to talk about gems, about the gemstones, soul gems specifically. How can you find soul gems, how can you find enchantments, and how do we identify which soul gems are actually the best, which are the worst, and what are the specifics, how can we easily find out what is what. Now I've started to I'm trying to use the web camera in order to, you know, put my freaking face over there on the video, and I want to hear your comments about it, what you think about it. Is it you know, if it's appropriate quality or not, what you think about it, if it's appropriate, if it's not appropriate. Anyway, if you feel that you understand content better when you actually see me talking to you, when you're, you know, when you don't only hear the voice, when you also see what I'm trying to show you. Now, me and my dear assistant Jaik over here, we're gonna start talking about things. Now let's just start with soul gems. What are soul gems? Soul gems are specific special items in Skyrim, soul gem, which are used to enchant your weapons and armor. Okay, they also use to recharge your weaponry, as with each hit your weapon charge will slowly fade away. Now, how do we understand what soul gems are better and what not? From the common soul gems you can find, there are 5 types. They're petty, lesser, common, greater, and grand, which I sadly do not have with me right now. As you can see, if we sort them in Sky UI, using Sky UI, we sort them by weight. We can see that petty soul gem have the smallest weight. They weigh only 100 grammars. We have lesser soul gems weighing 200 grammars, common soul gems 300, 200, 300, now 400. Greater and grand weigh half a kilo, provided you are using metric system. If you do not, half a pound. Should sound good for you. Now, the weight, although it's not, you know, it's not the easiest way to compare it, it's the most obvious, and it's visible, easily visible. You can also see the size. I mean, look at the petty soul gem, such a small little thingy. Lesser is a little bit bigger. Then we have common, it's like a whole piece, it's big enough. Then we have greater, it's already 3 soul gems together. And then we have the grand, a gigantic thingy, you know, beautiful thing, marvelous thing. Now, if you want to know which soul gems are the best in the game, just go ahead and make no mistake. The best ones are grand soul gems. If you want to enchant eventually your weaponry and your armor with the best possible enchantments, you should stockpile on grand soul gems, nothing else. Nothing else will do. The better the soul gem, the better the effect will be, provided of course you have sufficient enough skill to do that. If you do have sufficient enough skill, it will be possible. If you have enchanter perks, if you have insightful enchanter, corpus enchanter, extra effect, the effects will be stronger and better, and depending on what you want to do. This one is for armor, this one for weaponry, but I have to say for weaponry you would just, you know, you could do with only fire enchanter and put only fire enchanting, because the more you take, it doesn't actually pay off so much. You could take fire and frost and put fire and frost combined on your weapon. But I'm not a fan of enchanting weaponry myself, because I like very much one effect. I do not have it on this character. Holy crap. Okay, the effect is called Whirlwind, okay? And it's a shout. You can apply it to your weapon anytime, right? As long as it doesn't have an enchantment. And what it does, it puts in a specific enchantment which gives an additional attack speed on your weapon. I love this enchantment. And I think it's not necessary to have an enchantment of your weapon. Again, this was my opinion, okay? You might think, oh my god, I cannot live without enchantments on my beautiful fiery axe, right? So, yeah. That's about soul gems and enchanting. Okay, so, yeah. So grand soul gems, as I said, are the best in the game, and if you want to have best effect, you have to have grand soul gems. Everything else will do for selling, for enchanting, fast, quick enchanting, to level up the skills quickly, and you know, that's how you use it. Now, as you can see, the cheapest are petty and lesser soul gems. You can notice that the soul gems that have no charge, they cost much less. As you can see, petty soul gem with petty soul cost 40, whereas the simple one costs just 10, right? And it's the same with others. It's just like roughly 3-4 times different, and it can be gigantic, right? So you should obtain your souls manually, right? It will save your money. But in case of grand soul gems, I mean, if you can save up a little bit of money, it's not that big of a deal to buy grand soul gems. especially considering that you'll have to pay it only once. You pay it once, you enchant it, you forget about it. You just fire and forget, you know what I mean? Very, very useful. Now that we talked about soul gems, let's go ahead and talk about enchantments. Enchanting as such is done perfectly in Skyrim. Okay? It could be done better, but compared to Oblivion, compared to Morrowind, God, do I love this thing. It's just so much improved. Now, how do we actually find all the best enchantments in the game? That's the question I get a lot. How do we find all the best enchantments in the game? So, let me answer you. There are no best enchantments in the game. All enchantments can be somehow used for your build. Okay, most of them. Some enchantments are pretty much useless. I consider them useless. Water breathing, I consider useless. I consider useless resistance to diseases. I just think it's stupid to have it wasted on that. I consider invaluable enchantments resist frost, resist fire, resist magic. Oh my god, resist magic, priceless. And resist, what did I forget? Shock. These four are, wow, resistances are mandatory for the survival against when fighting dragons, flame, snow, snow Atranax. Yes, snow Atranax. Okay, Santa Clauses. When you fight a Santa Claus, you want to have your resistances up, right? Or else you're dead. Now, how do we find enchantments? We don't actually find them. We disenchant stuff. How do we find the stuff to disenchant? Go out adventure. That's how. Cheapest way. Go out and adventure. Every loot that has anything like this does 30 points of magic damage. Take it with you. Even if it's useless and very, very heavy, take it with you, you know. Sacrifice something else and go straight to the disenchanting table and do this, disenchant. Select everything you can afford and disenchant it, okay? So they all will have different prices, and usually it's very expensive to do this thing. But as you will do it slowly, you will memorize these enchantments and you will be able to use them in the future. Also, see how the enchantments you already know are grayed out. You cannot disenchant something twice, so once you got the fire effect, fire damage, forget about it. You have it, you don't need it anymore. You will not have to disenchant it ever again to memorize it. The strength of enchantment will depend on your skill, on the size of the soul gem, and skill soul gem, and additional effects such as potions, potions, primarily potions. Additional strength of enchantments, and the perks in the enchanting. So, now, to practice enchanting, as I said many times in other videos about this, you just have to go ahead and create many similar effect enchantment with the cheapest gems you have. Go ahead, select petty, and just create it. Don't bother about it. You don't have to have it a high quality enchanting. Just go ahead and do that for the number of it. As much as you can do, as much as the soul gems you can spare, just go ahead and use it for this trash enchanting, which you don't need it, okay? You don't need it. You will not use it. You will probably sell it because it's not, you see, success is 4% better. Oh my god, 4% better! Now I can finally pickpocket everything, right? I mean, you're just gonna go ahead and sell them, but as such, it's very helpful to increase your skills like this. Now, soul gems, enchanting. So yeah, that's the database of enchantment. Not all of them are incredibly useful, but you should have, most of them. So you have the selection, so you have additional ideas, because it's better to have it and not need it than not to have it and wish you had it, you know what I mean? Now, how do you obtain the soul gems? The easiest way is to buy them from magicians. So the court mages, such as the Farengar, the Secret Fire, and Dragon's Reach, is one of the sources to obtain it. In most of the keeps, there will be one court magician, from which you will be able to obtain soul gems. Also, merchants sell them, general merchants. Also, some other merchants sell them, so it's not really hard to get. Also, in every dungeon, they are just stuffed with soul gems. Don't keep them unless you want to become good enchanter, but keep the grand soul gems in case you will become a good enchanter, so you can enchant stuff which you need, you know what I mean? So when you have all the skills necessary in the enchanting tree, you will be able to make something very strong. If you have double effect, you can create a ring which will give you, for example, higher pickpocket and higher lockpick, and you will just use it specifically for this, to level these things up. That's it, very strong enchantment, but you don't waste your armor on this. You enchant your armor for something that's used in combat. You don't enchant your armor like, well, you know what, I'm going to enchant my boots with muffle or with pickpocket success. What are you doing? How is that useful? How is the muffle going to save you from a dragon? Right? Put resistance. Okay? Put on the armor increased magical school. Put something useful, you know what I mean? Don't put something that is not directly used in combat. Make an amulet instead, which will be used for pickpocketing, picklocketing, whatever you want. Just keep yourself very, very tough in combat. That will save your life when you're playing on Master's difficulty, alright? So yeah, now that we talked about all of these things, I thank you very much for joining, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the content and liked the commentary, go ahead, like, subscribe, and favorite the video. Be sure to tell in the comments what you think about this webcam thingy. I'm just started doing it and I want to hear your opinion. Also, I'd like to say I have not uploaded many videos recently last week, primarily because I was playing a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic, but also because, you know what, with all this Christmas thingy, New Year, there was so precious little time in which I could actually sit down and record with the proper silence in the house, so I really couldn't do much. I'm trying to use the moment right now that it's quiet here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make this video. Just... where are you going? You're such an ass, Farengar. Let's go here, Jake. What do I need? What do you need? Staring at me. Ass. Perfect. So again, if you like the video, enjoy the commentary, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And just go ahead and comment about your opinions and questions. Don't forget, I read all of your comments and I like your suggestions. And everything, every good suggestion will be covered. There is no chance I'm gonna skip it. Everything. This suggestion, by the way, this was suggested by one of the subscribers. This is 2 suggestions actually. What are soul gems and how do we identify the best soul gems? Where to get soul gems? And how to get best enchantments in the game, how to get enchantments in general. That's 2 suggestions. So thank you very much for watching, have a great day and good luck in your adventures in Skyrim.